So, welcome to the call, you guys. Happy Monday. This is going to be such a fun one. Just a refresher on the calendar. As you guys know, this is a 5 week turn in. So, if you are working hard towards a slingshot promotion, just be mindful of that. You'll want to get business on the board for at least 4 of the weeks, not just three like normal. So, keep that top of mind. We've got a lot of time left to crank out some business. So, today, we'll go ahead and look at the master schedule because this is where all the action is. But take a look at the Mac Room of Our Dreams schedule. Today, we always have Gino Locklear dialing bonus leads directly after this call, and he is phenomenal on the phone, you guys. So if you need to get some inspiration to go hit the phones yourself, that's a great one to go to right after this call. And then you can see lots of great live dialers and even our very own Jordan Shank and Summer Friesen taking an hour this afternoon. So even if you want to hop in and support them, we'll all be there. And then if you guys are overwhelmed by the big room and you want to go do some work in a smaller room, a lot of us have been hanging out in the Gaines breakout huddle, which you can find by hitting join a breakout room. There's a little button at the bottom. If you can't find it, let us know, but we'd love to see you in there as well. Couple of calls we love to highlight. Protection Pros, which is every Monday and Friday, led by Gabrielle and Ben, which is a great call, along with the Elevate Forward call, hosted by Jeffrey and Dave. So there are the times for that. We've switched that up. So if you are a brand new agent, Tuesdays and Thursdays are dedicated just for new agents in their first 90 days that are working hard for their first 6 applications. So be mindful of that and jump on the Elevate call if that is an area you want to focus on. And then the FAO call, which is every Thursday, kind of an invite if you are hitting these benchmarks. If you're at an 85% contract, consistently producing, and have a desire to build an agency, we want you guys on that call. So reach out to your upline if you're curious about how to get the link and get involved in that call. Guys, this is just really cool. We are number 5 in all of Symmetry for people who are already committed to conference. And I feel so proud of our team for this. And there's something to be said for saying yes early, you guys. It is a lot harder to get yourself to a conference a week before. These are people who raised their hand and said, I'm going to go first. I'm going to commit. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to problem solve my way there. If you were on the Friday call with Jeff, you know what I mean. So, guys, just really proud of every face on this screen already. And if you want to get yours added, we have an unlimited owner's pack. So, this entire team has access to discounted tickets. We are not going to run out, but we do want every single person on this call to be there. So, you can scan this code. Make sure you use that discount code at checkout. If you do not have your own writing number yet, you will need to reach out to whoever invited you to the business just to put the opt ID in. I know I was messaging with Sarah. We were running into that last week. So just reach out if you're confused, but let's get you your conference ticket. I'm just like, let's be the most registrations in Symmetry as a team. I think we can do that. So excited. And then a very warm welcome. We started dividing these by base shop, you guys, because there are so many new people to welcome, which is like the coolest new slide deck design. Thank you, Jennifer, for thinking of that. So these are all of the Gaines Agency base shops. So you've got Tim Coates and then Jennifer and Kevin represented here. So first up, we have Asmeen, Blake Morgan, Selena, and Kristina, all direct to Tim Coates, and then Miss Sarah and Den, who I'm going to let Jennifer actually introduce because she's not an agent, but she is our admin, and we wanted to give her a graphic so you guys know that name when you see it in the chat.
Absolutely. So, yeah, Den, welcome to you. She has been working behind the scenes with Kevin and I over the last month or so, and we're going to start bringing her in. You'll see her name a little bit, probably especially in Slack, but she's just working for all of us, kind of, like I said, some behind the scenes things that are going on, but she'll be posting some Slack reminders. So if you see her name and you are wondering who she is, we are happy to have her. She has already made a big impact for Kevin and I, just specifically in some of the tasks that we've handed off to her, and someone that we see really helping our agency get to the next level. So Den, welcome to you. We are really, really grateful that we found a good one. We found a good admin, you guys. So we are fired up about that. So, and very grateful for the work she's already done with us.
Only the best for this group.
I love
Welcome,
it.
Dan. We're so glad you're here.
And she's a foodie. So she was sharing with us some event that she was doing this weekend with her family where they were hopping from house to house and like getting different meals served like all weekend long. That's all they did was eat. I'm like, man, you fit right in here, Den, because
Oh,
like
this is a
that's like
perfect fit.
we eat around here. Anyway, thanks, Kristen.
Yes, that's so exciting. And then welcome to the call, everyone in Kyle and I's base. We've got Chloe, who you guys just met, Peyton, Neal, and Lisa, who I saw on the call. Welcome, you guys. And then Kiyomi, Roman, and Andrew. I'm not sure if you guys are on, but welcome to the team. Welcome to the team call. And then for Lips and Life group, we've got Marilyn Clark, Leslie Hernandez, Kelsey, and Catherine. All three of those ladies are direct to Alona, and then Marilyn direct to Jeff. So many unique builders represented on this call today. I love, love, love to see it. Two agents passed their exam last week. Congratulations to Tracy and Tristan for passing. Now we can get you to the fun part. The studying is over. Congratulations. And then a new writer, Mr. Greg Otto, direct to Jeff. And I believe we have first application on leads. That was last week. I thought I saw that slide. Maybe not. But congrats, Greg. Way to go. Weekend Warriors. We had Greg and Jennifer with not just a little bit of weekend warrior work. They both are so humble, but we do want to celebrate you guys. 6,500 on Saturday. Greg, that's phenomenal. Well done. And Jennifer helping a previous client, we were talking about it yesterday, 4,442 on the board. And I believe you guys write incredible business. So I wouldn't be surprised if 100% of that is going to get issued this week. So well done, Weekend Warriors. Oh, here it is. Perfect. First application on a lead, which is a big deal. You can write an application on family, but when you finally get one on a lead, it just feels extra good. So we want to celebrate that. So congratulations to Noah Jorgensen and Greg Otto for the first application on a lead, helping a family. And I love how Jeff puts this on here. $8 lead, you guys, 1,118 APV. So that's a really awesome ROI. And I'm sure that's just the first of many for both of these guys. So well done. 5K by Friday for last week. Tim Coates. Look at these handsome men on the board. That's so wonderful. Well done. Tim Coates, 9,678. My husband, 7,733. Jeffrey was 7,526. And Ryan Lunsford, 6,660 on the board. Well done, you guys. That's setting a mean pace. And this slide, you guys, has been chilling for a little bit, but it's going to explode because of all of these agents that are welcoming to the team. So I know there's going to be a lot of big changes here, but Jeff is definitely leading the charge with 8 new riders on the board. And then Jennifer and Kevin with 2, along with Dave. And then Alona, Kyle, and I, and Tim all with 1 so far. But this is changing soon. And we love to celebrate the year-to-date numbers, you guys. This is just fun. So I think we're going to hit a million in the next 4 weeks, if I had to guess. Maybe even in the next 2 weeks. So 938,088 on the board year-to-date as a master agency. Last year, in its entirety, we did 1.4 million. So we're about to blow that absolutely out of the water. 39 riders as well contributing to that team number. And this is how it breaks down for base shops. So Jennifer Gaines base shop last week, 20,257 in submit with 5 riders and 10 applications submitted. And that breaks down with Tim and Ryan, who we already celebrated, Jennifer with 2 apps, 2496, Tim Romero on the board with 1228, and Noah with 1 app at 196. Well done, Gaines base. You guys won the base battle last week. We're a little low here on the next 2. Kyle and I had 4 riders in the base, 8 applications submitted, 11,394 on the week. Kyle leading the charge. And then I had one app for 1318. Gabs had three apps for 1304. And Daniel, one app for 1040. This slide is like core four. We've been here since the start. That's my people. I love it. Ellipse and Base breaks out with 14,790 submitted business last week, 13 applications, four writers, and one new. Go, Greg. Jeff, we celebrated. So Alona with four apps, 4,796. Greg with his 1390. And Jacob Calabrew on the board with 1078. So awesome. All right, you guys, we are at 159,360 in submitted business this month so far. These numbers are just getting so big. It's crazy. 25 writers. So if you have helped a family this month, you should see your name on this board. Just want to say congratulations to all 25 of you on the board. Two of you being brand new. It's awesome. 115 apps submitted, and I'll just read off the top three. The guys that are leading the charge, Mr. Ryan Lunsford sitting at 15,336 so far. Greg in number two spot with 15,078. Jeff at 14,458. And oh my goodness, that is a tight race at the top. So week and a half left to go. All right, future agency owners on the road to ownership. This means you and at least one other person have written business this month. Congratulations to the Cucciaras with two writers, 17,188 on the board. Team Coates, three writers, 17,397 on the board. Team Calabrew with three writers, 7,305 submitted. And Team Zamarin with two writers, 19,548 on the board. That's awesome. Oh, get the call. All right, that might be it before 100 families served. This is our a crowd favorite slide. We're sitting at 667,000 our families served in 2026 so far. The goal of this slide, you guys, is we want as many people serving 100 families over the year as possible. So this is where everybody is sitting for the year so far in families served. I'll read off the top three. Jeff at 75, Gabs at 72, and Tim Coates at 65. Well done, you guys. Jeff and Gabs are in a tight little competition up there, back and forth every week. So chase the contract. Throw in the chat, you guys, what you are working towards this month, and what you need to achieve it. Hard to hit a goal if we don't know what the goal is. So that's why we always throw this in the chat every week. We just want to keep it in front of both you and the team so that we can be cheering you on, championing you guys. So I love what I'm seeing. Alona's working on 95. Jeff is working on month one of 115, which is awesome. Manny, 90. Greg working on the slingshot to 90. Same with Ryan, slingshot 85. Greg, brand new. Love that you know your next promotion. Anna is working on a new day one. I love that. Jennifer, 125. We are behind you with that goal. And Mr. Tim Coates working on 105. And Chloe studying hard. Love it. That is a great goal. And you guys, this is how it breaks down. So goal of this slide is to get your bubble off the slide, which means that you are in a three-digit contract level, and we just want to gamify getting through these promotions. We want you making more, doing the same work, okay? So get yourself to 95 and join the beautiful ladies on the far right. And I think some of these will be bopping around soon because I know Ryan and Greg are pushing hard for 90. I'm sure they'll be bumping over soon. And there she is, our beautiful guest that you guys already knew was in the room. She's hard to miss. And I found this adorable little picture of us from
How
conference.
cute are we? Oh my gosh, I've never seen this
I
picture.
found it in my phone this morning. And you're holding a Red Bull, so I was like, this is perfect.
This is
Yeah,
actually perfect.
this
I
is
do.
perfect.
When did we even take this? I can't even.
This picture is like Kyle is in the seats behind us, and you and I were like in the seats up front. So we're like this. It was like a really awkward picture, but I just made it look cuter.
But it's actually so cute. I love it.
Yeah. Hi, Christina. Welcome to our call.
Oh, thank you. I always love being on your guys' call. It's just so clear, like the heart that comes through everything you guys do. It inspires me every time I'm on here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I'm supposed to be introing you, but that was very sweet of you to say. We love having you on our call. I have actually zero intro prepared, but what I thought would be fun is because our team loves you so much, guys, what is a word that comes to mind when you think of Kristina?
Ooh,
Power,
sure, I'll take that.
badass, power, vibrant, servant leader, commitment, fire, brave. Oh, these are such good words. Oh, thank you guys. I just wanted to shower her with some words.
Thank
Inspirational, yes. You guys, Christina literally closed down the Ignite conference that we were all just at back in March, and it was one of the most powerful speeches I've ever heard. It was just like chills. The whole room had chills. I know that you practiced so much for that, and you were so excited. You were so ready. Can you just talk to us about really fast before I even officially intro you, like the energy you've had going into these last few months coming off of that speech?
well, yeah. To be totally honest, anytime you speak on a really, really big stage and make big impact, I
Hmm.
think you need to be prepared for the enemy to attack. Like if we're
Yeah.
being super honest, like it's almost predictable. And
Mm,
it was a call that I heard from both Ed Milet and Stephen Furtick they did together, where I was like, what's wrong with me when after I speak on a stage, I feel like the world's blowing up around me? And they actually talk about how every time they make a big speech, a big impact for Stephen Furtick, it's after every Sunday. They feel that way. And it's because you're on the right path. And so this
mm,
time I was like prepared for that. Exactly. New levels, new devils. And so when like Ignite ended, I'm on this massive high. Like that was such a moment. It
hmm.
was so beautiful. And you and Jen were sitting behind me. And I'll never, like, it was so perfect that you guys were behind me before I went back, like the peace it gave me and everything. But I was like prepared. I was
Yeah.
prepared for the world to explode. And it kind of did in a lot of ways. But at the same time, I saw that as like, oh, I am on the right track.
Yeah.
This is so good because I'm on the right track. And I think we need to seek out imposter syndrome. I had total imposter syndrome after that. And imposter syndrome is not bad, it's really good. It
Mm,
means you're operating at your next level. Like you are operating at the next version of you. You are coming against your own limitations. And so I took that and I was like, all right, it is time for my title, my everything to match my impact.
yeah.
And we have just been on fire since then, honestly. Like it was like a slow dip of energy, and then it was like, no, like it is my time. It
Hmm.
is my time. Like I even have a sticky note here that says, I'm simply deciding that it's mine and it's my time.
Love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now we're just running. We had our best month ever last month, and here we
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
tell me how the team is doing this far into the year, because I didn't even ask Andrew for numbers or anything. So kind of give us like, give
Yeah.
the people that don't know that your team is so incredible, just a little preview into what you guys are doing so far this year.
Yeah, so the end of last year, we broke out three direct AOs back to back within 6 months.
Yes.
So that was really, really, really exciting. And anyone who's hit AO know there's kind of like a adjustment period, I think, after you hit it of like, oh my gosh, I hit it. Like now what? And we're just firing on all cylinders right now. So I don't know what our numbers are for the year right now, but I know right now in the month we have 59 writers,
Oh, that's exciting.
which
Okay.
is crazy, you know,
Yeah.
but so many are new. We're bringing on an average of 25 new agents a month right now. So many are new. We got to get our APV per agent up.
Hmm.
But we're doing it, you know. So I believe we'll be 125, 130 within the next 12 months. You know, Andrew and I are really kind of locked in. Like we want to see it before the end of the year because the
Hmm.
growth is there, the leadership is there. You know, for instance, one of my rising leaders she's a team leader, but she already has 9 writers on the month, which is crazy.
Amazing.
You know,
Yeah.
Stephanie Jonas is obviously a huge
Hmm.
part of this momentum and excitement.
Hmm.
I think she's sitting around 20 writers on the month. Terry Davis is around 12 writers on the month. So it's just a
Hmm.
lot of growth happening. And also just like I believe that when it is your time, it can't be stopped.
Hmm.
It gets to be sudden. When it's God's timing, it gets to be fast and it gets to be big. And that's where I'm like, we've had these bones and this structure for a long time, but I just think it's our time. And that's all God, in my opinion.
I
Yeah.
do too. I texted you because your birthday was over the weekend. So
Yeah.
everybody wish Christina a happy birthday, by the way, because that was just over the weekend. And I didn't just say it out of flimsy. Like, I really do think this is going to be the best year yet. And I'm so excited to get to watch it from over here. We love being your friend, Christina, and we love having you here. So thank you for taking the time to share what you're going to share today. It's actually funny. We were on the airplane flying to Asheville as a family. Kyle and I were going to AOA, Jennifer and Kevin going to AOA too. And we got to meet Stephanie and Terry in person. Just love them, by the way. So we love your people. But Jennifer was on the airplane watching a call that you did a few weeks ago. And then she's like, "You need to watch this." Like, we're across the row and she's like, "You should watch this." So I'm like, "Okay." I pulled up the video in the air and we both watched your team call. And she's like, "I'm texting her right now. She needs to come on our call and do this." So I couldn't agree more. This call was very impactful for me and timely. Also, I'm obsessed with the Kentucky Derby, not to give anything away, but my dream is to go. So I'm hoping we can go together someday.
Yes. Oh my God.
Um,
I want to wear a
Perfect.
hat.
Me
Like,
too.
come on. All the things.
Yeah. And if you haven't watched Secretariat in the recent past, you guys all need to watch it because it's like one of the best horse movies ever.
Yeah.
And that's how I'm going to preface this call. So, thank you,
I
Christina.
love
I'm
it.
going to hand it to you. Whatever you want to do with the rest
Yeah.
of our time is yours.
Okay. So, I am really excited about this training. And it honestly, this whole training happened literally like I know that one of my gifts is speaking. That's like my God-given gift. And it was literally Monday morning, and I'm like, what am I going to talk about today on Huddle? I hadn't planned anything. Like I was flying by the seat of my pants for that day. Like I just was. It was not my best moment, but I was flying by the seat of my pants. And then I like saw a reel about the Kentucky Derby, and the team leader who has 9 riders, she had messaged me over the weekend. She was like, if you haven't watched it, you need to watch it. And she said, I'm golden tempo, is what she said. She was like, did you watch the Kentucky Derby? And I was like, I saw the outfits, and she's like, Kristina. And she's like, I am golden tempo. And I'm like, all right, well, apparently I got to watch the Kentucky Derby. And on Monday, it just clicked, and I was like, oh my gosh, I finally watched the full 5-minute race. And I was like, this is incredible. And it just flowed. Like I didn't really, it just happened because this is us, you guys. Like this is us. And so, Kristen, do you want to screen share and go ahead and play it? Okay.
I do. Let me get it
Yeah.
here.
And you know
So
to
glad
click like,
nobody asked me to screen share that. Whew.
well, I know. She's like, do you want me to or you? And you know to click like the share sound thing, right?
I do.
Okay, perfect. Because I
Thank
shared
you
it the first
for the
time.
reminder. Okay, I think we got it. You want the full 5-minute one? We've got
Yep.
it.
Yep. We're going to spend 5 minutes together watching the Kentucky Derby.
I love this. I should have put my little hat on. Okay, let
You're
me know if you guys can hear it, okay?
All right, thank you, Mike. And we're just about set. Last few.
Did I not do it?
I
You're
only
on the Pinterest.
Oh,
I think we saw your vision board.
oh, my background. Okay. Sorry. There we go.
yeah,
Boom.
I'm impressed.
With my vision board.
There we go. Mhm.
That's cute, but this is what we want. Okay, here we go.
All right, thank you, Mike. And we're just about set. Last few. Japan's Wonder Dean moving into the starting gate, along with Oselli, who's never won a race in his life. Incredible. Moves into line, and that will lead Long Shot Robusta to the outside stall. Robusta steps forward and in, all in line and ready for the start. They're off in the Kentucky Derby. Renegade getting bunched about on the inside. He did get in a little bit of traffic. Wonder Dean goes out to the front with 6 speed on the outside. And Denon Bourbon is up close with So Happy as well. So it's these 4 to set the pace. Then Emerging Market, Pavlovian to the outside, Potente and Litmus Test along the rail. Break of 2 to Further Ado's in between Chief Wannabe and Robusta. 3 to Intrepido and Incredible. and then Commandment, who finds himself about 10 lengths off the lead. Then it's a big gap back to Renegade, who was a little bit of traffic there on that first turn. Ocelli is next. And then come the two trailers, Albus and late running Golden Tempo. So on to the backstretch they go here in the Kentucky Derby. 6-speed as expected, setting the pace of 46.44. Opening half mile here. The lead is 2 lengths. So Happy and Japan's Denon Bourbon heads apart. Second and third. Wonder Dean is fourth in behind them. Litmus Test is fifth along the rail. An Emerging Market, Pavlovian. Further Ado is in behind them. Further Ado about 7 lengths behind under John Velasquez. And then Potente down to the inside and Chief Wallaby. Commandment has 7 to make up. He's outside of Intrepido. Then Incredibolt. Renegade is in behind that group. He's on the rail. He's got 10 lengths to make up. As 6-speed and Denon Bourbon are 1-2 on the far turn. Mike Smith and So Happy are there to their outside. 2.5 back. And then down toward the inside comes Emerging Market as they make their way to the top of the stretch. Further Ado is getting going on the far outside with Commandment. They're both putting in their runs as they arrive into the final furlong. Ocelli is also gaining ground on the far outside as they come to the last 16th of a mile. Denon Bourbon in front. Ocelli a huge long shot. Renegade and Golden Tempo are closing too. Here's Golden Tempo! Golden Tempo and Cherie DeVaux make history in the Kentucky Derby over Renegade in a final time of 2:02.27 seconds.
The first female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. 44-year-old Cherie DeVaux conditioning Golden Tempo with a tremendous run down the stretch to win the Derby.
All right, you could probably end it there. Okay, if you don't have chills, I'm going to break this down for you and why I call this training, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. Here are some stats. Golden Tempo, it was 23-1 odds for him to win. Like, he was not the favorite. He was the afterthought, like Jeff said. He was in post position 19. That's like the third from the last spot, like the farthest spot over. Not only that, but think about what horse names did we hear for most of that race? Renegade, 6-speed, Renegade. They'd already picked who they thought was going to win. The fastest, the best, the shiniest, right? Renegade. Renegade's odds were 5-1. Fun fact, the jockey on Renegade and the jockey on Golden Tempo are brothers. So it's the older brother, the favorite, the better one, right? The one that's on the winning horse. Like, of course, my brother's on the winning horse that everybody thinks is going to win. 5-1 odds is crazy, right? Versus 23-1 odds. He was underestimated. Golden Tempo had not only was he on the outside, but there's some reports that he stumbled out of the starting line. How many people here feel like you are stumbling out of the starting line of building your business? That was me. In case you didn't know, I came in here and I quit in 2020. I came back and I quit again for 9 more months. I was stumbling. I wasn't even stumbling. I was like flat on my face. I was not even moving. And then when I started, I just had every doubt in the world. And I was surrounded by the fastest. Jamie Susie, fastest to 130. Sarah Reineke, fastest to equity partner. Followed by Kelly Bush, fastest to 130. And then Jim Larson, the new fastest to equity partner. And then me. Y'all, that's the line I was in, where if you don't hit this in 2 years, what are you doing? They're the fastest. They're the favorite. They're the favored to win. Look what they did on, and here I am stumbling, trying to figure out this production thing, a huge piece of people's business, but my name nowhere, right? How many people feel like I'm stumbling out of this starting line? I am stumbling. This is hard. I can't do it. I feel like every horse is running faster and stronger than me. Lee says my gate still hasn't opened. Maybe my gate's mechanism is broken. Why isn't my gate even opening? What is happening, right? Or maybe Maybe it's just waiting for you to nudge it with your nose and get it to go, right? How many of us feel that way? How many of you feel like you are dead last in this race, 19 out of 19? Because the fact is, you didn't even see Golden Tempo for most of that race. He was out of the shot. He wasn't even in the pack that was being featured and talked about, featured and talked about. Look at them, look at them, look at them, look at the leaderboard, leaderboard, leaderboard. We live in a world of leaderboards, and sometimes our name's not on it. And it can feel like we're 19 out of 19. That's so great. There's 25 riders, but what if you're number 26 and you're not on that board yet? We can often let that mean that we can't run the race. Or maybe I shouldn't even try this month. I'll try next month. But the truth is, this is your pace. And just because you're not on the board right now, you're not in the shot right now, you're not in the frame right now, doesn't mean you're not going to be the 130 that gets there. Does not mean that at all. Because your race is uniquely yours. And Golden Tempo didn't know that people were like, I'm not even going to feature him in this shot. I'm not even going to like, who cares? He's off the screen. Golden Tempo was running his race. I mean, they literally have blinders on, all of those horses. How many of us also spend way too much time looking left and right or at leaderboards? Way too much time. And then we can look at that leaderboard and let it mean something about us. That maybe my board doesn't look like hers. So I'm going to let that mean that maybe I'm not meant to do this. How many of you have thought that? Put a 1 in the chat. Maybe I'm not meant to do this because my numbers and leaderboard don't look like theirs. My journey doesn't look like that. Right? Where you are right now means nothing about where you're going to be. Behind is a position, not a prediction of where you're going to be. Where you're at in the race, whether it's number 1 or number 21 dead last in that race, it doesn't matter. It's a position, not a destination. It's feedback, not a destination. It does not define who you are, what your worth is, what you're meant to do, or what your timeline is. It's simply where you are. Maybe you are right now at 80%. You're like, I am at dead last. I'm at 80%. I want to get off that board. I love that board, by the way. Just because you're at 80% now doesn't mean a year from now you won't be at 120. You guys, I came in at 80% and I stayed at 80% for 9 months. And 1 year later, I was a 120. Guess what? I'm still a 120, baby, but that's okay. It's a position, not a destination. It's a position, not a destination. And the truth is, at the 3/4 pole, 3/4 through the race, right? Golden Tempo could have counted himself out. That jockey could have been like, we have been running this race and we are tired and there is no way we're going to end where I want this to end. He could have counted himself out, but his jockey and himself and his team believed. They believed. Do you believe that even if you feel like you're dead last right now, that you can still win your race? Win your race. Right? We don't stop trying at the 3/4 pole. A lot of you right now, you're just at the 3/4 pole. Maybe you are at the start line. Maybe you're 1/4 of the way there. You don't stop there. You stop when you finish it. You stop when you finish your race. We say it all the time. The only way to fail here is to quit, period. The only way to fail is to quit. And I mean that completely. The only way that wasn't going to end up that way for Golden Tempo is if he just pulled back, quit. I'm in last. Not only am I in last, I'm like dead last, like not even on the screen, right? Dead, dead, dead last. You aren't behind. You're just not at your finish line yet. You are still running your race, okay? The behind agent only finishes behind if they quit. Determine that you're not going to finish behind. Because here's the truth. Being underestimated, that's a gift. Being the underdog is a blessing. Being the one who doesn't have the pressure on your shoulders, because I'm going to be honest now, guess what? Yeah, I closed Ignite. Do you want to be the person with that pressure on their shoulders? When you're going to hit 130, when you're going to hit 130, when you're going to hit 130. I can't tell you how many times people say that to me. And it sucks. I would much rather be underestimated. I call it being a silent slayer. Jody Brevich, my team leader right now with her 9 riders, she's at like 17K on the month. She's my silent slayer and she loves that title. She loves it. She loves it. She's just coming out of nowhere. She's going to hit AO, just a silent slayer. Being underestimated is a gift if you don't internalize it. If you don't internalize it. What does that mean? Being underestimated is awesome. But again, don't let that mean anything about you. Because you could very easily be like, well, nobody thinks I'm going to do anything here. So they're right. No, I'm in last place. Let me show you what I'm made of. Being last means nothing about you. Being stuck means nothing about you. Being plateaued means nothing about you. Going backwards, it means nothing about you and the calling on your life in this industry. It's a position where you're at right now. It's feedback. Maybe this means I need to ramp up my recruiting. Maybe this means I need to ramp up my personal development. Feedback for me that I was at 120 for 2 years. I had to grow. I had to get my muscles stronger. I had to grow and become the person who grows beyond a 120. That was feedback, but it means nothing about who I am or what my calling is, right? Golden Tempo being in last place meant nothing about who he is. It was just simply his position and his feedback. Well, now we got to run a little faster if we want to run this race. We got to run a little faster if we want to finish this strong, right? Not only did Golden Tempo stumble out of the start and come from behind, but because he was in one of the last positions, right? Renegade, the favorites here in the number 1 spot, they're coming out of the gate and they're just going straight, right? Boom, here we go. Golden Tempo not only ran it faster, but he ran further. He had to come from the outside all the way in, and then once again, all the way on the outside and around and in. While the favorites just had this fast track, right? Golden Tempo didn't only run faster, he ran further faster. He had to grow different muscles. He had to have different gears. He had to have different abilities to not only go faster, but to go further faster. Some of you might feel like I got to go further than they do, and you might have to. Spoiler alert, some of you have to go further than others because some people come into this business and they've got a huge network. Maybe they've done network marketing before and had huge influence in teams. And like Jim Larson and I say all the time, I just had to raise my hand really to get this thing started and to say, guys, I found the thing we're all going to go do. Let's go. And I had people being like, I believe you. Let's go. How many people have that? I was renegade. I was on the inside track because of things I had done for years prior, right? I had put in time years prior, just like Renegade. He'd proven himself for years and years and years in races that he could do this. But then here comes freaking Golden Tempo. Like, hold my horse reins. I don't know what you say there, going further faster. And not only that, think about how many times you hear them say Golden Tempo. You hear versus how many times you hear them say Renegade. Renegade, Renegade, Renegade. It's all about Renegade. Where's Renegade? How's Renegade doing? The only time they mentioned Golden Tempo was to say he was in last place. How many of you feel like here you're hearing people's names all the time? This person, this person, this person. Well, they're just going to feature this person again. And I'm very aware that sometimes that's my name, right? Like, I'm very aware of that. Like, oh, okay, here we go again, right? How many times did you hear Golden Tempo mentioned? Hardly ever until he won. Be the horse out there that's like, you are going to know my name. My very first conference, Jim Larson and I were sitting in the Marshall Wayland meeting room, and we weren't recognized. Nobody knew who we were. We weren't speaking on stages. We weren't training. We were doing nothing. Zero recognition. And Jim Larson texted me and he said, I know how uncomfortable you are right now because we are the same person. But someday, Chris, they're going to know our name. Someday, Chris, they're going to know our name. They might not know our name yet, but someday they're going to know our name. That's golden tempo. They might not know my name. I'm in the race. Sure, like, oh, there they are. But determine that your name is worthy to be known. And someday they're going to know your name. They're going to know your name because of what you overcame. You went further and you went faster. You ran strong, because sometimes the slow starters, you guys, they are the very best finishers. Slow starters make the very best finishers. So what if you're just building your tempo? What if that's what this is actually all about? You are just building your tempo. And what if your tempo isn't like anybody else's, and that gets to be celebrated? That gets to be celebrated, that your tempo is not like anybody else's. That doesn't mean you don't win the race. But if you spend time looking at other people's tempo, I mean, his name is literally Golden Tempo, right? This is literally about his race being his pace and winning gold. Like, could this be any better? Right? What if your story is, I stumbled out of the start. I felt like I was last. I felt like it would never happen. But man, my legs got strong. My legs got stronger. My conviction got stronger. And I surrounded myself with a team that believed I was a champion. Guarantee the team you're surrounded by right now in this agency, they believe you are a champion. They're not looking at you thinking, well, you're not in first place now, so you might as well quit. Like, nobody's thinking that. Nobody is looking at you and thinking, man, your story sucks. I just want the favorite. I just want the racehorse stallion #1 preferred person. No, you don't. No, you don't. I say this all the time. By the way, this is total side note, but it's better to have a field of happy horses than one stallion. I want a field of happy horses running their race, growing their muscles, finding their tempo, as opposed to one flashy stallion. Because that one flashy stallion, they can leave in a heartbeat, right? What would happen? All those people who bet money on Renegade because it was a sure bet, what would happen if Renegade pulled a muscle, right? Give me a field of happy horses. So slow starters are often, in my opinion, the best finishers. Why? They have to build the muscle. Because let me tell you, as someone who actually started this thing pretty fast, once I decided and started and it went pretty quickly, I didn't have to grow the necessary muscles, which is why I then plateaued at 120 for 2 years. Because I had to pause and grow the muscles needed. If you are a slow starter and you are feeling like your golden tempo right now, oh man, embrace it. Be so thankful for it, because you are being forced to grow the muscles and the skills to win the race. You cannot get through this race without doing that, right? You got to find your stride and remember who you are. Because often in this race, we look left, right, look at what they're doing, how they're recruiting, how they're building, what leads are they working, how are they doing their business, look at their life, look at them, look at them, look at them. You need to remember who you are and the race you were called to run. I have wasted so much time in this business looking around and thinking my race was less valid because it didn't look like somebody else's. Thinking my race wasn't as good. Anybody else? Look around and you compare where you are to other people and then disqualify yourself, it does not matter how you start. It doesn't how you matter where you are a quarter of the way in, half of the way in, three-quarters of the way in. Your race might take you 3 years. It might take you 10. The champagne's going to taste just as sweet when you cross that finish line, no matter when that is for you. And that favorite, renegade, renegade, renegade. I mean, you hear it over and over and over. You still finish second, right? There will always be a favorite, or so it feels in business. The favored to win, the one featured on the most stages, right? The one asked to do the breakouts, the one featured on national call, where you're like, I'm doing awesome things too over here. I'm not being seen, right? There's always going to be a favorite master agency, or this new 130, or this shiny new object, or this person who can produce 100K in a month. And then this person, there's always going to be that. And it was actually Jordan Shank who prepped me for this years ago, where he was like, I've just had to learn in this business, there's always going to be that person. And then it's not you. And then it is you. And then it's not you. You can't let that mean anything about your business or about you. Right? I'm super marketable. I got a really great story. I lost a lot of weight. Like I know that about me, right? I know that about me. And it can be annoying as hell. But you know what I'd rather be? Underestimated with a really strong business. Underestimated with really strong legs because I'm in last place and I'm going to run my butt off and I'm going to be the champion of this race. December 2024, my hardest, lowest month ever in business. I am so thankful for it. That was my golden tempo moment. Everyone around me exploding. And I'm like, we can't even pay our bills this month. Whoa, what is happening? What is happening? That was my golden tempo moment. I have a choice. I can get stronger and I can run further because now I'm coming from behind. I got to run further to promote than ever before. I got to run further, and this is going to be harder. I have two choices: count myself out and pull back, or lean in and run harder. And I chose to lean in and run harder. What do I need to do? How many reps do I need? I took it very literally, right? Running a full marathon. I took it very literally. Movement is movement. My average steps per day last year were like 13,000 steps a day, right? I took it very seriously. I have to get stronger. I have to be able to run further. I have to be able to outlast the race that wants to put me out of business. The world wants to put you out of, the enemy wants to put you out of business. The enemy wants to put you in last place and make you doubt yourself so much that you stop even trying to run the race. You realize that? Like, the enemy wants you to be golden tempo in the back of the pack because freedom is at the front of the pack. Freedom, impact, the ripple effect, financial freedom, time freedom, being who you were made to be is at the front of the pack. So literally, I believe with my whole heart, the enemy is trying everything he can to keep you at the back of that pack, thinking there's no possible way you're ever going to finish this. You're ever going to hit agency owner. You're ever going to promote. You're ever going to hit 130. There's no way. Do you see where I am right now? I am just trying to get profitable. You're just starting your race. That's it. Find your tempo. Find your team to surround yourself in that believes in you more than anyone. You might not hear your name being shouted from leaderboards yet. Yet. The question is what you do next. What you do now. It's the and then. I was at the back of the pack and then I leaned in. I was at the back of the pack and then I grew stronger. I was at the back of the pack and then I realized I needed to 10x my belief and I got to work. I was at the back of the pack and then I realized it means nothing about who I am or my calling or my future. I was at the back of the pack and then I found my running buddy. and we ran faster and further and stronger together. I was at the back of the pack, and then I decided this means nothing about me and my future. I was at the back of the pack, and I remembered that this is simply a position, not my final destination. And then, what do you do next? It is the and then in your story that matters. Golden Tempo was at the back, and then he found a fifth gear. And he passed person by person by person by person by person and raced that final few steps side by side with his older brother to win. Right? But we are not here to compete. Aside from what leaderboards show us, we're not here to compete. We're here to outfinish. Just simply outfinish the people around you, because they're going to finish this race too. And I believe that. They're not losing. They're also going to finish the race. You just got to outfinish them at the end. And you have to have faith in the process. It's my fifth lesson from this. So, faith in the process. Most agents are going to quit when they stumble out of the gate. Most agents buy one or two batches of leads. Now they're like, I've spent $600. I'm out. This doesn't work. Right? Or maybe I've spent $2,000. I still haven't made a sale. Obviously this works. Everything is flawed. It's not me. It's the system. The script sucks. The leads suck. I can't do this. Right? I've seen this happen many, 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 many times. They stumble out of the gate, or they make their first sale and it charges back. Or, they hire their first person and that first person ghosts. Okay. People are going to ghost all the time. That means nothing about you. Most agents quit when they're stumbling out of the start. That's just the truth. And I hate that that's the truth, but it is. So the trainer, I can't even remember her name right now. First female trainer to win. First female trainer to win the Kentucky Derby. And how cool is this? When she decided to go into horse training, I think she was like pre-med or something like that, right? DeVoe is her last name. Okay. She was like pre-med. And when she decided, her stepdad told her, just give it 3 years. Give it 3 years and see if it works out. That's the bet she made. Most agents quit at 3 months because the numbers haven't shown up yet. The ones who finish, the one who runs the Kentucky Derby of their business, are the ones who stay in the saddle when the leaderboard says they're dead last. Most people want to give it 3 months. What if you gave this 3 years? What if you don't look up for 3 years and have that mindset and stay in the freaking saddle? Stay in the saddle until your numbers match your effort. Stay in the saddle until you see that profitability. Stay in the saddle when the leaderboard shows you dead last. Stay in the saddle when you're not even on the leaderboard. You got to choose joy. Like, I'm so thankful to be in this saddle and run in this race. If you show up less when you're last on the leaderboard, if you show up smaller, if you believe smaller, then you're right. Your results are going to reflect that. If you decide that those leaderboards mean nothing about your future, it's simply your position, and then I get to work, and then I buy more leads, and then I figure out what I'm doing wrong in my close or how I can get better, and then I get a better tie down, and then my close rate goes up. Stay in the saddle while you're figuring this thing out. Stay in the saddle while you're getting profitable. Like, decide and put in the chat, I am staying in the saddle, because the way it's going to feel when you cross that finish line and you win your race, unbelievable. Is this business the hardest thing I've ever done? Without a doubt. Hardest thing I've ever done in my life. Is it the most worth it thing I've ever done? 1000%. Show me another industry where I can build passive income that can get upwards of 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, $100,000 a month passive. Show it to me. Is it going to take you running a really hard, grueling race and you're going to be exhausted? Yeah. But anything worth it is going to be hard. Anything worth it is going to be hard. That trainer, she didn't say, I'm going to give this 3 months. I'm going to run a few races and see how it goes. I think it's actually been 18 years from the time she started training to winning the Kentucky Derby. 18 years. Imagine where your life will be if you stay in this race for 18 years. What if it's just about staying in the dang saddle? Stay in the saddle when everything in the world is telling you to get out of the saddle. Go do something easier. Go get an hourly job. Maybe look at this other IMO. They seem to be doing better than us. Their leads are free over there. By the way, free leads are never good. You don't want free leads handed you to by someone. That doesn't grow any muscles. That doesn't build your belief or your faith. Like, stay in the dang saddle. Some of you right now are at the 3/4 pole and you feel like you're at the back of the pack. I want you to hear me. That's not a verdict. It's simply your position. Golden Tempo didn't win the Derby because he started in front. He won because he never stopped running. And he had a team behind him that believed in his closing kick. You are Golden Tempo. Every single one of you. What I want you to do now is just go run everybody else down. It's not about being the fastest. It's about being strong and finishing your race. Run your race to win your race, not somebody else's. You're not running Renegade's race. You are running your race. So no matter where you are, maybe you are winning on the leaderboards right now. Keep winning. Maybe you're the end, you're the bottom of the pack. You don't want to be number 25 of 25. Keep riding, keep going, keep dialing, stay in the saddle. It's the 18th of May. We're almost halfway through this year. We could very easily let that mean something about like, I'm nowhere near where I wanted to be. I'm nowhere near where I thought I'd be halfway through this year. Do you know what can happen in 7 months? Truly anything. Truly, this story is not even close to over. Stay in the saddle and run your race because it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. That's all I got.
That's all she's got, guys. Yeah, just that's it. Even better the second time. I'm like taking notes all over again. Seriously, Christina, this is such a good message. I am so thankful you came to share it. And I know Jennifer wants to say a few things too.
Honestly, it is like I selfishly wanted to hear this again because on the plane I wasn't able to take notes and now I've got all these beautiful notes. Still couldn't write fast enough. So the way that honestly, in my opinion, the way that the Lord gave you this analogy to bring like in on the morning of your team call, like so fitting for our business is beautiful. And I'm so grateful that he gave that to you because I know I needed to hear it and appreciate you so much.
Yeah.
Listen, I need to hear it. I actually said that to Kelly Bush this morning. We were talking and I was telling her what I was training on. And she was like, do you need to take some of your own advice today? And I'm like, yes, I do. I firmly believe every time I get to speak about something is because I need to hear it again too, because I'm walking it too. And that's just how it works. The more we say it, the more we believe it, the more we embody it, the more we move in that direction. And so I am so thankful. This message was directly from the Lord. It had very little to do with me, and I'm so thankful for that. But truly, you guys go run your race. It's beautiful. Yeah. Your race gets to be uniquely yours.
Yeah, 100%.
Thank you, Christina. We love you. Excited to run with you all this week. Everybody have an awesome Monday. We'll see you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.